Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Benton with the Metro Buzz, where we bring on leaders of Middle Tennessee on just to tell a little bit about their story, what they do, and what they think about Nashville and all that. And we're excited to have, who do we have?
Yes, we have Chandler Ashcraft with us today from Balloon Therapy Nashville. They are Tennessee's premier balloon installation and event styling company. Located in the heart of Music City, this nationally renowned event company has served celebrity and corporate clients from all over the country.
And we're excited to have her on the show.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris. Thanks.
Now, I always like to start out the show the same way. You know, everybody's been through a rough time this last 12 to 15 months. How did COVID affect what y'all do as a business? And what have you done through the year to kind of maneuver through that?
Personally, I think the event space definitely had to take a huge transition, much like all these other industries, on kind of spitballing and seeing what sticks to the wall a little bit on how to adjust things here, just like everybody else. So luckily, we are in a space that we can adjust pretty easily. So we actually launched July 1st. So I'm speaking for our home base here in Dallas. So so luckily, we kind of launched our Nashville location here at the tail end of COVID. I mean, I know we're still kind of dealing with some flow over there, but luckily we were able to launch in a time where events were kind of up and coming and they're picking up. So that was beautiful for us. But speaking for our company as a whole, our Dallas location, they adjusted very quickly, and in fact, they actually grew during that time. So I know a lot of businesses can't see that, and that's I know that's a big blessing. But some of the things that we did, I mean, so we are on demand balloons and installation, and so parties still happened even during the COVID world. Right. So we just adjusted. We wore our masks, and then we stayed away from our clients, and we would come and install on the front of their houses. For birthday party celebrations, for graduations, etc. So really, we just changed some of our logistics and procedures, and we were still able to be somewhat successful. Like I said, Dallas, I'm being humble on behalf of them. They did a really great job during COVID. I think that they had a good model underneath them there.
Wow. It's like for us, our other show, the Chris and Sandy show, we launched in January of 2020. Mm-hmm. And the original plan was 100 interviews to get entertainers on the show. And we thought that'd be a great first year. And then COVID happens. Yeah. So we had to kind of adjust, because I was like, you know what? This may be the year to shine, because all these entertainers are going to need a place to talk.
Yeah, we saw the opening there.
And I was like, you know what? Instead of just focusing on doing only 100 interviews last year, let's just go all out, because you know what? Let's just see what we can do.
I love it.
We reached out to so many people. We did over 300 interviews last year, and we're over 400 now.
That's insane. Yeah, I think there was a big gap there, which also causes for people to see a lot of opportunity there to jump on, and I think a lot of industries and a lot of people like yourselves definitely did that. So it was a beautiful thing for some people that were kind of looking for some silver lining there a little bit. So
again, we couldn't change COVID, but we could find that, again,
absolutely.
When things come at you in life, you have to sit there and say, okay, I can't change it. So how can we maneuver through this maze
to make the best of the situation?
Absolutely. That reminds me, I played college basketball, and so. That reminds me of something my coach used to say to us. He used to say, "Control the controllables." So I mean, those things, COVID is out of everybody's control, but you can control your controllables, and how you react to situations is one of those things. So yeah, it sounds like you guys kind of took that and ran with it too. So that's good.
That's like talking about that, controlling the controllable. I love that statement, because one of my things is, before every show I always get nervous. Don't matter, even though we've done over 400 interviews, I still get nervous. Yeah. And especially on the big artists like we get. Oh, right. So I always have this statement an hour before the show. I'm like, trust the conversation.
I love that. That's your like grounding statement, like trust the conversation.
In fact, I thought about maybe one day eventually, once you get the show really going and all that, they'll write a book maybe called Trust the Conversation, because again, that's really what a podcast is, and video show, and what, of this type of thing is, it's conversations with people.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your background before the balloons, and let's go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So balloons were never in the future. Whenever I was planning my my future, thinking about college and things like that. So my background is actually in the disability community. So my master's is in special education. All of my professional experience is within that community. So a large portion, and we'll get to this too. I know we'll touch on it with our company here and some partnerships we have, but. So I worked for the IDEAL program, and it's here at Lipscomb University under the College of Education. And so that program serves young adults 18 to 26 years old that have an intellectual or developmental disability. So all that is, it just opens an opportunity that did not exist for those students to come to college. So typically, the collegiate screening process is, you turn in your high school transcripts and a lot of other documents for people, and young adults that graduate maybe with a special education degree. Sometimes they do not have that same opportunity, and there's a lot of loopholes that they have to go through to get to college. And so IDEAL, IDEAL was founded, and it's one of several organizations. I know Vanderbilt has a Next Steps program is what they call it.
Oh,
yeah. And a lot of great people go through these programs, and otherwise that wouldn't have had this opportunity. But anyways, my role in that program, I oversaw our internship and employment sector of that program. So it was my job to kind of be client facing or partnership facing. So what I did was I took people in the community, small businesses, large corporations, our sports teams here, our volunteer-based organizations here. And then I took our student and worked alongside them and with their employment goals, and we kind of matched them together. And so I loved that job. That program is so near and dear to my heart. Those students that go through are now friends of mine.
Tell us how it's connected to your business currently.
Absolutely. So, might rabbit hole here, so you might have to rein me in here, Chris or Sandy. But a little bit is, I knew I saw an opportunity in this events industry for balloon therapy to come to be a space in Nashville. I thought the market here had a big value, a lot of opportunity in Nashville. I mean, it is. There's enough for everybody to eat, even in our same industry. So I saw that, but knowing no matter what business venture that I was going to move into, I knew that that hiring people who don't have all of the opportunities that typically developing people would have is a big gap here. There's a big discrepancy in people who have disabilities and people who do not, and the employment. That employment rate is insane. And so I knew that was something personally that I feel very convicted about, to make sure to work alongside this community to provide more opportunities for employment. So that's a lot of rabbit hole and not talking about balloons, but that's something that we feel as a team here too. We have two great employees, Bailey and Hannah here, who feel very passionate about that as well.
And the goal of the show is not necessarily to just talk about your business.
Right, answer the question.
Talk about you and life and
Sandy. Chris, I go like this. I go like this, and then I come back to the question. So
that's Sandy can tell you that's me.
Yes,
I've done from the time we started our other show to now. I was doing at the very beginning 1.5 shows by accident.
He was, yes. Without meaning to.
And now I average 30 to 45 minutes from our Chris and Sandy show, and 30 minutes usually on the Metro Buzz.
Yeah.
So I've learned to hone it down, but sometimes when the subject comes on, it's like I can't shut up.
Right. But that means you're just passionate about it. That's what I mean. Especially this right here. I'm super passionate about it. And no matter what happens in life and future, that's something that will always be intertwined and bleed into any sort of future business ventures.
So how did you get into events? And let's back up a little. Where did the name Balloon Therapy come from? How did you come up with that name?
Yes, right. Okay, so the way that we are structured is we are an extension of Balloon Therapy in Nashville. In Dallas. That's where that's home base. They launched there. The CEO is there. The founder is there as well. And so I own our Nashville location.
Okay. So you're a franchisee.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm a franchisee. And so we all work closely together because we are we are a new franchise. We are their second franchise. So I think the dynamics might be a little bit different than a typical, you open a Steak and Shake and then, you know what I mean? Right. So it definitely is a working relationship with everybody. And I've really enjoyed it. I really like that dynamic. But Balloon Therapy, they had a really badass lady on board who came up with the name, Jessie.
I love the name.
It's a great name.
So Jessie, the founder, she is a licensed therapist. And she did this on the side for a little bit. And so what they did was they kind of bled the two together. But how I did, how I got wrapped into all of this is, right? So how I got wrapped into all this is I just saw opportunity in the market and I kind of jumped on it. But I had a little bit of experience making balloon garlands. So my son, I have two sons. My oldest is 2. So when he turned 2 in December, me thinking of their birthdays really quick on the top of my head. He turned 2 in December. I reached out to somebody about making a balloon garland, and I was like, I could probably figure it out. And so I just started. I started just making them and doing it on the side. And then I thought, hey, I really want to scale quickly. I want to. I was like, this is beautiful. Like everyone needs these at their parties. So I found Balloon Therapy about, I would say, a couple weeks after I made that first garland, and then that was the end game. So I went down to Dallas, met their team. It was great, and here we are. It has been, Chris, insanity. Like in the best. Like we moved so fast. It is.
I couldn't have picked a better market. I mean, Nashville is the party city of the U.S. I mean, it really is.
When I say every single Thursday, we get booked to the brim with bachelorette parties.
I can imagine.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Have you guys ever been walking down Broadway?
Yes. And you see the party buses with the bachelorette.
We love it because we do. The theme is disco cowgirl. Have you guys heard of the disco cowgirl theme? That's what. So what? Oh my goodness, y'all.
Tell us about that.
I see it in my sleep. It's just like a pink party, but like cow prints and that's kind of all the bachelorette vibes in Nashville because they want to be kind of cowgirl if they don't.
Yes.
Man, the party buses and the cow prints in the air. Yeah, it's just all Nashville on Thursday and the weekends. We love it though. We love it.
So what are some pitfalls that you've run into even just getting started? A lot of people, when they see the CEO or the president of a company, they think, oh, they make all this money and they're glamorous. And we both know that.
I'm giggling. Yes.
That there's way more work, way more no's, way more struggles. And I think a lot of people miss that side of it. And I don't care if you're an artist, if you're a maintainer, if you're a business owner, it's all the same. Yeah. You work with nothing. And so tell us about that side, some of the sacrifices you've had to make.
Oh my word. Yes. So you alluded to this. This is not specific to me. This is anybody that has taken a step in this direction in any sort of way. So it's just the multiple hats, so hiring during COVID, I don't know if you've talked to guests right now, hiring is just been, is one hurdle to kind of get through in this industry. Right. And so as the owner here, we're just wearing different hats. So I'm out installing. You could see me if you book us for an event. I could be installing for you on a weekend right now. So, if you're the top of the food chain here at this location, you got to know how to do everything so you can right? So, so it's just everybody is wearing a lot of hats. It feels very startup culture, which I love, and I feel like our team is thriving on, because it's a very fast paced, we're building a plane as we're flying it kind of thing. But yes, I love how you said it's not some like we're like just thrive,
And I always want to hit that point on every show, whether it's the Chris and Sandy show or the Metro Buzz. I always want to hit that side of it. And I think so many people, they have this misconception and it's all glamour. Even what we do, they see that these 30-minute interviews or hour interviews that we have fun and we enjoy, and we get to talk to people like Scotty McCreary and other people like
Lee
Bryce and all that.
Ooh, I love them.
It's the work to get to that point. I mean, I thrive once we get live.
Yes.
But
this is the fun
this
part
is the fun
right
part.
here. But
the rest of it's not.
The only part.
No, it's not. No one gets to see. They get to see you thrive right here, but no one gets to see the hours of research. No one gets to see the hours of the logistics that you've been through, scheduling these people, sharking to get certain clients here. Yeah, for you all, no one sees that hard,
And the heartbreak where you
and
get
the heartbreak. Oh,
when we get a guest that's really big, and I make the announcement,
and then they say sorry,
and then it doesn't happen.
I know.
Right. or a toddler meltdown right before the show because we have a 2-year-old.
We have a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. He'll be 1 in the day? In 6 days he will be.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm well versed. Toddlers do the beautiful thing about them, they do not care what your title is or what your responsibility is. They will make sure
all about them, which it should be. Yeah.
But man, I feel you guys on the heartbreak behind stuff too. It's just the name of the game. We're kind of, I know we're in different industries, but we're trying to get certain clients on board and hit certain goals and things. And of course, there's going to be 2 steps forward, a step back, then you take 5 steps forward. It's all just.
Well, sometimes you take 3 steps forward and 10 steps back.
What'd you say?
I said sometimes you take a couple steps forward and 10 steps back, and you're like, okay, what happened?
Sometimes I know. That's why I love that picture that's super popular of like success is not just this like linear thing. It's just this bump of bumps on the road, and you go way down. But you're still going that direction or trying to.
And speaking of that, I love the analogy, and you've probably seen it on Facebook, a picture of a guy pushing a boulder up a hill. And I love the story of that, where as a business owner, as an artist, as a host, doesn't matter. It's like you're trying to have that breakthrough business, and where it goes to that next level. And you're pushing that boulder up the hill, and you're pushing, but you can't. The hill's somewhere.
Yep.
The boulder's so big that you can't see around it. And if you tried, the boulder would go backwards. If you look back, the boulder's going to go backwards. So all you can do is dig your head down and keep pushing. And then the day will come, if you don't quit, where you get to that top. And then now you can jump on that boulder and roll until the next hill.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what people don't show in that analogy is like they show a small snippet. Yeah. What they don't show is, yay, I'm here. And then the boulder and then you go back up the next hill. Yeah.
Yeah, because you ride that for a while, but then that next level, I think I posted on Facebook the other day that next level sacrifice. I mean, next level always requires a next level sacrifice.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And so what got you, if you're on that top of the hill right now, what got you there won't get you to the next.
Never does. Nope, it never does. Yep. Focus. You have to stay present always. It's easy. You can't hang your hat on the successes you've had in the past or the people, the clients you've had in the past or whatever. Yeah, it's always forward thinking and trying to be where you're at in your shoes at that moment right there. Yeah.
And and that's something a lot of people, you see stuff on Facebook and you cringe a lot of times, and like where people they see someone who's say worth $5 million, $10 million, and they're still plugging along, and you see people say, well, why are they still doing that? Because aren't they being greedy now? And they don't understand. Not only is it their passion, but second off, people know in this day and time, you could be on top today. It doesn't matter how much you're worth. You could be on the bottom tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think with life in general, especially when we're looking and talking, we never know the full picture when we look at somebody else in any capacity, a business owner, client, but even just people in general. We never know the full picture, and we only have a small view as we make assumptions about people, and as we build a story in our head about certain people. I just think everything is just so much more complicated and deeper than
and I used to make assumptions. These shows actually helped me, because again, when you interview over 400 people, you're hearing 400 different stories, and you're like, okay, I would have judged that.
Yeah,
you got to pass, and you're like,
without knowing.
So it's helped us grow as people, getting so many different people on the show, because we're like, ooh, I never thought of that, and I love that.
I love that. I love that mindset. I would hope maybe in the future that everyone kind of takes some sort of mindset of reaching out and looking of like, I never would have thought of things that way. I want to hear more about that. I think that just, and you can keep true to your opinion, your values and your thoughts. You can still keep true to those things, but I think it's a more beautiful place when we start to listen and understand where a certain thinking is coming from.
Because I've got a lot of friends that are all different political persuasions.
Yeah. Same. And I love it. And I love it so much. And that's the way that I want it.
Yep, exactly. Because you hear this and you hear that, and you're like, and they tell you their story, and you're like, I might think the way they think if I went through that the way they went through it.
Yeah, we've been through theirs.
Absolutely. We only see I just saw that I saw that comment right there. I think, it's hard. It's easy to lose perspective to know that people come to their own opinions and values in life. They come through their own experiences and their own lens everyone, it's all different for everyone. And I think if you keep that same mindset as you meet and talk to different people too, I think we'll have a gentler approach to people in general. Something else that my coach always said, I know we're spitting one-liners out at each other here. I'm loving it. But something my coach always used to say too, his name is Coach Brown. He said, treat people always like they're hurting. Treat everybody like they're hurting, because you never know.
Hurt people.
And hurt people. Another one-liner. I think that's 4. Should we just keep a tally of our one-liners at this point?
Yeah, he's got kind of a.
Yeah, but I think if you treat everybody like they're hurting and understand that hurt people, then I don't know. I think you have a little bit more empathy for people in general.
And it's funny because this show was supposed to be a business show, but I can't. We do the Chris and Sandy show, and our tagline with that show's called Up Close and Personal. Yeah. I just can't take that part out of me.
Well, I don't think you can, even if this is we're here to talk about business, and I understand that. But I had I sat down with one of my employees today, and we talked for 15 minutes about nothing related to our industry or our business or what was on the docket today, but she was important that day, and that conversation was really important that day. And so I think, circling back around, I think this is business, that people make up a corporation, people make up a business, and I think all of this is relevant to
people buy you before they buy your business.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
In relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the South, from I guess Kentucky down,
Probably.
Because what's funny about that is we knew somebody from Boston, Massachusetts, and she was telling us that she was like at one point the number one saleswoman in her company selling copy machines. I think that was like 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
And they wanted to open an office in Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And so she made the transition. She goes, "Oh, no big deal." And she goes, "These people wanted to be my friend. I just wanted their money." And that's the way she said, "I went from the number one salesperson in the company to the last salesperson in the company in a matter of 9 months." And she goes, "I had to move back to Boston."
No, she moved back to Boston.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's just a cultural thing here in the South. Yeah, people. I think you got to put on a good front, and how your process and systems are here. Our time from the time an inquiry comes in, we are on it. You're moving down the line. We want you to feel like you are the only client that we have, and we don't want you sitting here with 300 other people on board for our calendar. That's something we really want to value. But to go back, people come back, yes, for great service, but they want to put a face. They want to put a face to a company. They want to put a face to a product, and they want to put a feel. I'm trying to get on our we have an Instagram. I'm trying to get on our stories more and show our team to say, hey, we are real people.
Tell us a fun story that's happened with your company.
Yeah.
Tell us a fun story that happened with your company.
Oh, goodness. Other than Bailey and Hannah thinking I'm insane. You know what? We have some really interesting installs sometimes. We get in some really interesting places. So when we first started, we have our workflow system, where we call them installers can get on here and look at a job and know exactly what they're doing. All of that's on there. But naturally, stuff happens. And so things change on their end. We have gotten ourselves into some pretty interesting logistics up on roofs 20 feet in the air, installing balloons and things like that. Bailey, you know what? I'm fumbling around my words a little bit because the story that comes to mind, I just don't think is great for this podcast because Bailey will kill me. We just, the name of the game is flexibility. So we get into a space and we just freaking make it work. So if stuff goes completely sideways, it's all about the client making sure they're happy. So we make sure that's our goal.
I love that.
Awesome.
Now, as you know, a lot of people, they see you as the front person of the business. Yeah. They don't see the team behind you. No. And in our opinion, teams never get the love they deserve. So
they don't.
Take a few moments just to tell us about your team.
First of all, thank you for asking that question. So many people don't ask that question. We have to kind of carve out space to make sure that this business does not exist without Bailey. So Hannah. Bailey is our lead designer here at Nashville, our Nashville Balloon Therapy location. So any installs that you see that we are posting on our Instagram or Facebook, she's the design brain behind that. And then our workflow process, I'm sitting at Hannah's desk. Here's our logo behind us. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sitting at our front office where clients come in to pick up products. But Hannah, any inquiry that comes in, and since we started, I wish I had that number for you, but we've had hundreds of inquiries come in since 21 days ago. I'm really happy about that. But like I said, go back to Payne's. Man, we got to hey, if you're listening out there and you want to come work for us, listen, we're hiring installers. So come and work for us. But Hannah takes that process from start to finish. And it does not exist without her. It does not exist without Bailey. And I'm so dang proud to have them on our team. They get the startup culture and the timing and the last minute orders that come through our door. And they are client focused and they are just kind, decent people on top of that. And they're fun to be around. And I'm just really lucky. I feel really lucky that they're on board with us.
Now, do you ever feel, I seen a meme earlier today and I was like, oh God, this is me. But it was a meme where it showed.
Yes, this is a good one.
Where it said me, wanting to be fully booked. Also me, freaking out because I'm fully booked.
Like this. No, I've reposted that same meme. It's like me wanting to be fully booked. And also I will stress my team out and they will throw balloons at me because I'll be like, guess who, so-and-so just placed an order for 3 days from now. Of course I said, yes, let's make it work. And they're all just like, ah! But of course they knock it out. They're just the name of the game. We knock it out. We do it together. But no, if I could have one meme printed in our office, like I need that like on a 36 by, like I need that here. Like I know you can't see the front. We have a big empty wall in our office right now. I just need that meme there. Because if that isn't not the temperament of our office, that is it.
And speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, a little 9-year-old that asks a few questions.
Christopher.
Is it really on now?
So Sandy's going to go get him real quick.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I want to hear from Christopher.
And our 2-year-old, when she gets older, she'll be plugged into our shows too, because we are a family affairs show.
Okay, so does Does your 2-year-old have questions now? I would love to answer them.
You can't talk yet, but if she did, she'd be plugged in.
I mean, you can. You know to translate. You know how to translate for him or her.
What's been cool is we bring a lot of people from Disney and Nickelodeon on our other show, so he's been able to talk. Like yesterday, he was really excited because we had one of the girl that played Destiny on the show Bunked on yesterday on our other show, and he loves that show. So it was really cool that he got to ask her a few questions.
That's so cool for him. Yeah. Have you had anybody else on that he's been super passionate about or like thought?
Well, several. We've had Randy Travis on. He was excited about that. You know, we've had Sarah Evans on. He was excited about that because he loves country music.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hi, Chandler. So what's your favorite food?
Ooh, easy mashed potatoes. Yeah, I had that one ready. That one was easy. Wait, what's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza? Okay, what kind? Can I guess? Wait, can I guess? Are you a cheese pizza man?
He's laughing because look, he's
wearing a green shirt today. So
he's bodiless.
You're just like a floating neck and head on board.
Yeah, floating head.
Don't you love the green screen, huh?
I love it.
They're wearing the green shirt. So what kind of pizza?
What kind of pizza you like? He's too cracked up here.
You're giving me the giggles.
Okay, so mine is pepperoni, sausage, and
sometimes Supreme.
Plot twist. Usually, if you like the basic pizza, you're not really a Supreme man. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You make it easy on your parents.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay, what's your favorite TV show?
Man, I'm a serial TV show watcher. I'd have to say Handmaid's Tale. It's a little dark. But hey,
SpongeBob.
Oh, I was just about to say that. I was about to say, if I could go back, that's my favorite of all time. I've seen every single episode ever made. I have them on DVD.
Yes.
Yeah, we've probably seen them all.
Okay. Can you tell me your name? I'm sorry, I never asked your name.
Christopher.
Okay, Christopher. What is your favorite SpongeBob episode?
Ooh.
It's hard. Or like favorite moment. Favorite SpongeBob moment.
Which one?
Like the pizza delivery.
Probably Pizza Delivery.
Ooh, do you know the song?
Yeah.
You know the song, right? Yeah. Remember?
Like the Krusty Krab pizza?
He does, but you're put him on the spot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. What's your favorite movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
I love that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
Mine is the Minions movie.
Oh, the Minions. Okay, but there's a bunch now. I think there's
he loves them all.
He loves all of them. Despicable Me's Minions. Yep.
Yes.
And our little 2-year-old, it's funny. If we're walking in the mall and one of the stores has a Minion there, she's got to go in there.
Yeah. So my boys are younger, Christopher, so we haven't gotten into the Minion phase, but I've seen them and I love them.
Huh.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
1-year-old and 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like is your 2-year-old brother or sister?
Sister.
Oh, okay, so you know about it. Does she get in like your stuff and does she make a mess in the house?
Yes, she does.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, Christopher. Bye, floating head.
He loves that.
That's awesome. Good for him. That's so awesome.
It's funny. Right before the show, we remembered the green shirt. And he's like, "No, I want to wear it." So we'll let you wear it. I was like, "Don't laugh so much."
Yeah, because you're going to be a floating head.
He literally almost gave me the giggles of how much he was giggling looking at his floating neck head.
Yeah, because he's like, "I'm Nashville." Okay. What are some of your favorite themes or balloon creations that you've done?
My favorite thing is when a client reaches out and they're like, "Hey, do what you want. What do you want to go with?" So here, since we've launched at our Nashville location, we have done, I like the wild one party that we've done. So that's a lot of people do that theme, a wild one theme for a first birthday party.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we just deck it out a little. We go a little hard with our installs and our creations. So I really like that one. I think that one's been my favorite so far. But we've had a couple of inquiries on deck here. I know we have a Sweet 16 at the Parthenon here coming up. So that's a really, a big guy. And I think that's a really cool theme. It's like a Sweet 16, but a play on like sweets and ice cream and stuff. So anytime we get, our creative juices go. So what we do a little bit differently here, we're not just we add things that aren't balloons to our garlands. So when somebody asks us to do an 80s theme, which we have coming up too, I'm really excited about that one as well. We have an 80s theme coming up. We throw things in that garland that are and pool inflatables, that are chains, that are roller skates, that are boom boxes. So we're a big fan of a themed party. But yeah, so far it's been that wild one. I really like that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And what would you like your legacy to be in the business community? What would you like to be known and remembered for?
Ooh, deep question. I think as somebody that champions other people. So
we need that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a all eyes on me spot when you're at the top, whatever that means. Yeah. I think we thrive when we pull people alongside of us and we cheer on other people even in the same space. Because like I said, there's enough in the market for everyone to eat. And
especially with the growth of Nashville. I mean, it's like Nashville, before the pandemic, they were growing by, I think, 100 people a day moving there. And through the pandemic, it crashed. But it looks like it's back on track. It looks like they never left off.
Yeah. No, it never left off. And there's been a lot of people that have moved, that are moving here from because of COVID and some restrictions. There's people that are kind of, moving here because of that as well.
Because I've seen an article talk about that. A lot of the big people that's coming is from LA, Chicago, and New York. A lot of people from those are moving.
I know. And they're the ones that are throwing down that all cash offer on these houses. They're just
causing issues.
Right.
Off the loop. But when you think about championing people along, I mean, everybody's got a birthday. Everybody's got multiple reasons to celebrate during the year. And if we can't meet your needs, somebody else can. But the tandem, my number 2 to that question is that we provide opportunities that don't yet exist for all people. And
love that.
Yeah, and that's something that our whole team feels passionate about.
And the sad part about society in general is, the business owner is usually a lonely job. Because, like you post on, you see these posts on Facebook, somebody posts, I just started this career. I just started this job, and they get 1,000 likes. Somebody else posts, I just started my business that I'm passionate about. They get 0 likes. And you're like,
it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game.
It's like a really, like if it weren't for her, it would be really hard to keep this thing going. Because sometimes I'm up on that cliff, I'm ready to just jump. And she's like, she pulls me back.
Yeah, support system is everything too. In that, we're blessed to have people that you guys are sitting next to each other. You guys are each other's support system. I'm feel blessed that I have my husband as my somebody on my team. My family is close here too, and then as a culture here, we want to build that for each other. I know business is business, but we've talked about this business. People make up the business. So, and our clients, we feel the same way. We feel very honored to be part of this very special event in their life, and we want to make sure we know that. Man, these people have put in hours planning this, or, this is their first child's birthday, and we can easily as business owners and you all do this. It's easy just to tunnel vision and say, this is just another interview, or this is just another first birthday that we've done. But to them, that is their party. That's their one first birthday for their son or daughter, and so we want to make sure that everybody's treated, like it is, of importance that it is. Yeah.
So should someone start a business because they want to make money, or should they start a business based around their passion?
Man, good question. Because you know what, if I'm taking my own personal experience and my passion balloons, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is my passion people? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think business is just a vehicle for that. So I think it's just a lot of a stickier answer than, you're really lucky if you're in a job that also is your passion. But I think that you can bleed in personal and professional passions.
You can start there and it can end up somewhere else where that'll help fund the passion.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, like my previous position, we a lot of my students really loved sports and they really loved animals, and sometimes that was a position where we were able to get them tasks they loved it. Sometimes much like I don't know, 80% of us, like, we do a job that financially provides us to do our other, spend time with our family in a certain way, or do our passions on the side. So I think it's different for everybody. So I don't know the answer to that question.
I guess it's
I don't think there's a right answer
for different people.
Yeah,
there's probably not no right answer for that one, because again, some people do it for the money, but then you also hear people that they just had an idea that they knew could work, never really thought they'd become a millionaire or a billionaire, and they're like, it just happened.
I know, and I love those stories, much like you guys. Stories are my favorite thing. One of my favorite podcasts is called Armchair Expert. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's just similar to you guys. It's just you pull in people from all over the place and you just listen to their stories. And I think it's fascinating that like you said, there's somebody that was like a multimillionaire and they never thought this would work. And, they weren't even super passionate about it and they just kept trucking and they got lucky mixed with hard work. And and you always have
the luckier you get, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything comes with a tinge of luck and opportunity.
Yeah, there's always luck, but you'll never get to the luck part if you don't do the work part.
I know. I agree. I agree.
Because sometimes, like we have entertainers on the show and people would say, oh, they're just lucky. And to a degree, they are.
Yeah.
To have a number one hit out there, you're lucky. But you're also lucky that you worked hard to get to that point before that happened.
I agree. I think anybody that you see, that is in some level of what somebody would deem as successful, there's always some breaks. There's always some luck. There's always a right place at the right time mixed with the hard work. Absolutely.
So 2 more questions and we'll let you get out of here. So what advice would you give a person who maybe they got a passion, or maybe it's not a passion, but they want to make money. They got a great idea. They feel. And they're about to get started. What advice would you give that person who's ready to go? Yeah.
Jump in. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. Jump in. You can build that airplane as you're flying it. So
that's what we did with this idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you learn as you grow and you learn with every experience. So you don't get to that point unless you jump in and have those experiences. So
learn to pivot.
And learn to pivot and be flexible.
Our other show started out as a country music, up and coming country music show. Eventually turned into a music show. Yeah. Then now it's an entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to roll with it. Roll with the punches. Be flexible.
Yeah.
So,
what is a question that you wish hosts like us would ask, but they never do?
I don't know, guys. I like the vibe of just we're kind of flowing, organically. But if there was a pointed question, I would like to see like what people have kind of championed you along to get you to where you're at. Because interviews are always so you're asking about me and me and me. But
I'll answer your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think. It's interesting to hear who in your life and what experience, how have they leveraged for you to be where you're at too. Which I'm sure, there's a lot of different ways to ask that, but I just love the story.
So answer it for you.
Oh, answer it for me. I I think that was in a really privileged place to see a mom go before me who was a working mother and who made sacrifices on our end to put us in a place to be successful. She's definitely somebody that sticks out to me. I've really loved all of my college coaches. I played at 2 different universities, and those experiences and knowledge that I had there, especially at my time at a place called Lipscomb University in Green Hills here in Nashville. I played for a coach. His name is Coach Brown. The life lessons, those one-liners we were throwing out at each other, those all came from him. And those are things, when you're 18 years old, you hear and you're like, psh, and he's like, you're going to use this later in life. You better remember this. And you're like, no, I won't. I'll never use this. Those are, two pretty influential pieces of my life. Of course, everybody has a hand and offers some sort of piece to you. But the people that really stick out are definitely my mom and my coach. Absolutely.
I love that. So as we close out here, any final words and tell everybody how they can reach out?
Yeah, absolutely. One, thanks for having me, guys. So you guys, this is my first ever podcast. So I feel honored. I feel honored that it's with you. And then you can reach us by going to balloontherapynashville.com. There's a Hire Us button up there at the top. You can fill out an inquiry form. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Our Instagram handle is Balloon Therapy Nashville. That's where most of our inquiries come in. I would say, if there's 80% of our inquiries come in through there. That's a full page of our work so far. And we are really humbled that so many people have reached out to us, and we really look forward to being at everybody's party here in Nashville.
Love that. And we enjoyed having you on today, and we look forward to having you back down the road for some.
Absolutely. I'd love to give you updates. You got us a baby business. We're 21 days old, so you get to see the very fortunate. Yeah.
Love
beginning here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much.
All right. You have a great day.
Thanks for your time.